So if you're a developer right now, your company is probably spending a fortune trying to replace you. Here's the part they don't want you to see. It's not working. Take Uber. They give every engineer access to AI coding tools and set up an internal leaderboard ranking teams by how much AI they used. Not by what they shipped, not by what actually worked, but by usage. So everyone used it quite a lot. Individual engineers were burning through $500 to $2,000 each per month in API costs alone. By April, Uber had burnt through their entire 2026 AI budget in just 4 months. And their COO went on a podcast and actually admitted that they couldn't connect any of it to features actually shipped to users.
How many projects that were on the cutting room floor got moved above the line because 25% of our code commits were via Claude Code last quarter? That link is not there yet.
Ultimately, they gamified burning money and developers pay the price. For the last 2 or 3 years, we've been sold a very specific story that AI is going to replace developers. Companies will need fewer of us. Why pay a senior dev when an AI can do the same job for like pennies? And then the companies actually believed it. They went all in. Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google committed around $725 billion in AI infrastructure spending in 2026 alone. That's a 75% increase from last year. Obviously, that's not a small bet. That's like putting all your chips in. The plan was simple. We spend on AI, then we cut the developers. Therefore, we save money and we profit. Except it's not working out like that. So let's talk numbers. MIT looked at some enterprise AI projects and found 95% of them deliver zero measurable business impact. Zero. Not a little, zero. And less than 1% of executives reported significant ROI from their AI investment. Again, less than 1%. So the technology that was supposed to make developers obsolete is sitting in most companies doing nothing that can actually prove useful. And Uber isn't the only one. Microsoft, the company that owns Copilot, that's invested tens of billions into OpenAI, has actually cancelled most of its Claude Code licenses because the token bill got out of control. That's Microsoft that couldn't afford it. Now, here's where it gets a bit dark. There were over 142,000 tech workers that have lost their jobs in the first 5 months of 2026. 825 people a day. And the companies doing the most cutting are the same ones spending the most on AI. So AI is replacing developers, right? Except Gartner looked at the actual data and found something that should make every executive uncomfortable. There is no link between laying people off and getting better ROI from AI. None. The companies firing the most developers aren't actually getting the best returns. They are just smaller and slower. The companies actually seeing results from AI are the ones that kept their developers and invested in upskilling them and making them AI proficient. The earnings call obviously tells one story, but then the annual report tells another. Look, I'm not saying that AI is completely useless. I use it as well every day, but there's a massive difference between a developer using AI as a tool and companies replacing developers with AI as a strategy. One of these only works. One of them is costing companies billions and producing not that much. And here's what actually matters. Companies that are betting all in on AI to replace developers are actually losing. The ones investing in developers who know how to use AI are winning. So if anyone tells you that your job is at risk because of AI, ask them to show you the ROI. They probably won't have an answer. So if you found this useful, please subscribe. I put out videos like this every week, and drop a comment. So, is your company spending on AI? Are you actually seeing it make a difference? I'm genuinely curious actually in what's going on. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.